My Isodenics Challenge, brought to you by I Like Carrots Productions. This is a tale of overcoming adversity, serious illness, major setbacks, broken ribs, damaged shoulder, and turning almost certain defeat into victory. To come out leaner, faster, more powerful than ever before.
Hi, I'm isa17. I'm Doug Baumber's partner. 2010 was a rough year for Doug, because normally he keeps himself so fit and athletic, but he was knocked off his bicycle. As a result, he suffered many gum infections, teeth infections, and resulted in many teeth surgeries. He suffered many illnesses through teeth infections, and he had to endure many painful dental surgeries. By the end of the year, he was terribly out of shape. He had his last dental surgery and he started the Isogenics Challenge. Even though he was in extreme pain straight after that, he soldiered on. By December 27, his abs were coming through, and then he crashed. He was training in the rain, fell off his bicycle and broke his ribs. The doctor said he wouldn't be able to train for 2 months, but he was at it the next day, training on his bicycle, back at it. But I can vouch, for 2 to 3 weeks he was in extreme pain and had a lot of disturbed sleep. And for the last 2 weeks, even though the doctor said he wouldn't be able to train for the next 2 months, he was back on his bike, cycling for 5 to 6 hours a day and lifting heavy weights, extreme heavy weights again, just like he hadn't even broken his rib. And the change in the last 2 weeks has been amazing in his body. From day to day, you could see his body change, his muscles grew, and his fat disappeared. It's incredible.
Before and after photos, but just to show you, here I am at the end of the Isodenics Challenge, 53, almost 54, and this is how it turned out. So there you go, 53-year-old body on Isogenics. Normally I keep myself in top athletic form. Here you see me at the age of 52. What I do as a tradition since the age of 43 is do something legendary on my birthday. This particular year I did 150k on my bike and then did 4 hours in the ocean paddling the next day. Keeping myself in top physical form is extremely important to me for many reasons. Because I've been fit, I've had many incredible adventures in my life. For example, when I lived in Colorado, I'd ride 170 kilometers on my day off, ride over 3 mountain passes and get to do things like ride up through the clouds at 9,000 feet, hit the summit at 11,000 feet, watch the sunset and then descend back through the clouds on my bike. Do extreme skiing. Here you can see the type of thing I used to do, jumping off cliffs, skiing deep powder. You don't do this kind of thing if you're not in top shape. Also, out of respect for your partner, you should also keep yourself in good shape, because being fit and athletic, you can make them a lot happier and put a big smile on their face. Letting yourself go from being in good shape to bad shape in a relationship, I consider a total lack of respect for your partner. There are only 4 reasons to be out of shape: lack of knowledge, lack of care, lack of self-discipline, and lack of self-respect. Another reason it's important for me to be in shape is that I want to set the example to my children. Because I'm fit and athletic in my 50s, it's me that's going surfing with my children for 9 hours, me that's going cycling with them on the beach, and me that's making sure that they have me as a positive role model so that they too can be fit and athletic and enjoy some of the incredible adventures I've had in my life. So what went wrong for me in 2010? Well, a couple of years earlier I'd been hit by a total Land Cruiser, and at the time I was quite badly injured in the neck, shoulder, back, and after the hit, I'd actually spat a bunch of teeth out, but not thought too much about it, as I hurt in so many other places. In fact, this is when I first came across Isagenix. I'd been incapacitated for 5 months. Within 3 days of taking Isagenix, the shoulder and neck pain and back pain went so I could start training again, and I went from a 43-inch waist to a 37-inch waist in 2 weeks, and 110 kilo with a 36-inch waist in 6 weeks. But at any rate, out of this accident, 2010, I started having mystery illnesses where I'd be extremely sick, barely able to get out of bed, etc. Doctors weren't quite sure what was going on, but eventually it was identified that my teeth were all broken and infected from the car accident. In fact, one of my teeth had been pushed right up into the maxillary sinus. So I spent most of 2010 having dental surgery and dealing with quite serious infections. In fact, I was quite stunned with how bad infected teeth can make you feel. So, at the end of all this, here I am looking very out of shape, 49 in stomach, 102 kilo. My goal was to get back to the condition I was in this photo on my 52nd birthday over the Isagenix challenge period. I started the Isagenix challenge basically the day after my last major dental surgery. My face felt like it had been hit with a baseball bat. It felt like that for about 2 weeks and had a lingering infection, but I didn't let that stop me. I got on my bike and started riding and doing heavy weights. Then on December 27, I crashed, broke a couple of ribs and damaged my shoulder quite severely. The doctor said that I wouldn't be able to train for 2 months, but next day I was out there on the bike again, and what I had to do was learn how to breathe without using my chest cage to reduce the pain. The shoulder was bad enough that I could probably have put it in a sling, but yeah, ignored that and kept at it. It was quite disheartening at this stage of the event. The shoulder pain and the pain from the fractured ribs kept me awake at night, so I had quite severe sleep deprivation, and that severely impacted on the training results. And I even sneezed and re-broke the rib that had fractured at the sternum. That was a lot of fun, seeing the rib pop straight away from the sternum. I was way behind target coming into the last 2 weeks, and after listening to Susan Sly, I thought, no, I'm going to give this a real serious run for the money, up the training ante, and I actually started doing a lot more Cleanse for Life and Ionic Supreme, and that seemed to dramatically reduce the pain, and I was able to start doing heavy weights and was doing 5 and 6 hour bike rides, working on maintaining a 3,000 to 5,000, 6,000 calorie deficit per day. And what I found was, by increasing the amount of Ionic Supreme and Cleanse for Life, combined with increasing the protein intake, I was able to train and recover like I used to be able to when I was in my 20s, do a 5 hour bike ride in the morning and heavy weights in the evening, and then do another 5 hour ride the next day without any problem. My personal goal was to get as fit as I was at the age of 52. You can see me here with my surf ski paddle. In spite of the fractured rib, I think I got pretty darn close to the target. I was about 3 kilo off in weight and probably 2 or 3% off in percent body fat. But here I am at the end of the Isagenix challenge in my speedos and paddling top. So you can see I got pretty darn close. So again, here are my before photos. 102 kilo, 49 inch waist on the 21st of the 12th, 2010. And my photos from the 10th of Feb with a 38 inch waist and weighing in around 106, 107 kilo. So the net change was a 11 inch drop in waist measurement, while at the same time having a 5 kilo gain in net weight, so a significant boost in muscle mass. So what can we get from all this? Well, for a start, by upping the protein intake using Isagenix Isopro and the Isoline shake, I got much better results, and even more so when I added the Ionics and 2 to 3 shots of Cleanse for Life a day mixed with the Want More Energy. And in terms of achieving goals and objectives, I had all the reasons in the world to quit. First of all, I started it with just after 3 hours of dental surgery, and I still had a lot of nasty stuff coming into my mouth and down my throat. For the first 2 weeks, the side of my face felt like I'd been hit with a baseball bat from the surgery. And to add to the joy and all the other excuses I could have used to stop, I actually crashed my bike, got a really cool ride in an ambulance with fractured ribs and damaged shoulder. Doctor said I couldn't train probably for another 2 months. Instead of using that as an excuse, I ignored them and started training the next day, and just learned how to change my breathing pattern so that I could inhale and exhale without excruciating agony. Wasn't always 100% successful, but just ignored the pain. And just before the 2 last weeks, about 3 days before the Susan Sly talk, I sneezed, refractured my rib, and I could have said, my God, it's time to stop. But again, I ignored that. And then I listened to Susan Sly's talk, and I really, at that point, was about ready to give up all hope. But after her talk, I was inspired and attacked the challenge with a new vigour. And that I discovered that taking the Cleanse for Life and the Onyx Supreme in combo with the Want More Energy dramatically reduced the pain. And when I combined that with a much higher protein intake of 2 grams per day, I was able to train and recover like in my 20s. So do a 4 or 5 hour hard bike ride in the morning, heavy weights in the evening, and be ready to go the next day. And I really didn't think that was possible at 53, but it is. So basically, in terms of getting your results, losing the weight, getting control of your health, etc., it really comes down to optimizing your nutrition, which is what Isogenics is about. And the other really big thing is your own mental self-control and discipline. Are you going to be a crybaby and a wimp and give up just because things are a little hard? Like, oh no, I've broken a rib, I can't do this anymore, I'm going to stop. Or are you going to keep at it? It really depends, I suppose, on how hard you want it. Because Isogenics certainly gives you the tools. All you need is the strength of the brain to do it. And I will say, even though I had a 3,000 to 5,000 calorie deficit almost every day in the last 2 weeks, I had no hunger and I had incredible energy and mental clarity thanks to the Onyx Supreme and the Cleanse for Life. So in conclusion, Isogenics makes great product, and again, here's a little quick video clip showing the afterbody. Here I am at the end of the Isogenics challenge, 53, almost 54, and this is how it turned out. So there you go, 53-year-old body on Isogenics.